Hey guys, I'm Lowell Henderson. Thanks for joining me. Today we're on the very, very beautiful Mulberry River here in north central Alabama. I'm very fortunate that I have access to the river. I can get in a few private places. There are a few public places up and down the river that you can still get in. There need to be more. That's something that I feel badly about, because this is such a beautiful waterway and it doesn't have a lot of great access. But what I want to focus on today is our smaller rivers and what fun they can actually be. I left my boat at home and haven't even made my first cast yet. Today I'm using small crankbaits. This one happens to be a little Rapala. I think it's a F3 or a F5, and I have some Rebel, some little crawfish. I have some Ozark Trail pin minnows I'm going to try, and hopefully we're going to catch some Mulberry River spotted bass. So I'm fixing to get to it. I'm going to make my way slowly and carefully so I don't drop anything in the water or short out any transmitters or anything like that. I'm trying out a new wireless mic system. So I'm going to make my way right on behind me here. Can't see it yet, but you will. I'm going to be working a little ledge drop off. And I'm going to throw across the ledge drop off, bring this little minnow out over the deeper water, which in this case is probably only 3 feet deep. We're going from inches to 2 or 3 feet deep. That is deep water here in this. I'll be fishing about 100-yard stretch today, and hopefully we'll catch a few spotted bass. They're a whole lot of fun. 4-pound test line. You may not can even see that, but let's get started. Oh my goodness, that fish hit as soon as that bait hit the water. So I know there was an active fish right off that ledge. So if there's one, there's got to be more. Put another one. We're bringing it upstream. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to let them take it. That's 2 casts and 2 bites. They did not hook up with my tiny little hooks, but I believe we'll get one here soon. Wow, that's 3 tries. Got a little algae. 3. There's fish there. One of them's gonna mess up. It could be bluegill. It could be spotted bass. I believe they're tucked up in that ledge. And as soon as that bait clears that ledge or it's floating above it and I twitch it a few times, they're rushing out from under that ledge, out of the shade, into the bright light, and they'll run back. But I know there's fish there. That is awesome. A little farther to my left, middle of the river, doing a very slow, steady retrieve. Got a little goo on my bait. Well guys, my first, rocks are slick. My very first spot produced 4 or 5 bites. And no fish hookups. So I know they're active, they're chasing minnows. So I'm gonna look around. I know there's a good ledge that runs to my, well, camera-wise would be to the right, be to my left. So I'm gonna reset up and we're gonna work this ledge before we move up river. Maybe we can get a hookup. I get 2 or 3 more misses on my little Rapala. I believe that's a little F3, little tiny hooks. It's great for the river. It usually does a lot better at hooking up than today. But if we don't get anything, I'm gonna take off and put on, say, a Rebel crawfish pattern little crankbait, or either one of my Ozark Trail pin minnows, and maybe they can get a better bite on them. Let me get moved. I'll get back with you in about 5 minutes. Stick around. We'll be back shortly. There's a bite. Strong little fish, little bitty fish, but really surprisingly strong, because these fish fight this current all day. Looks like a little spot. Drag him right up here, let him swim in the net. Oh, or not. Ha ha. There we go. Find my pliers. Get this tiny little beast off my hook. There you have it. Mulberry River spotted bass, about 7 inches long, but extremely strong for that size. And if you like ultralight fishing, you won't care if you're catching 6, 7, 8 inch fish. The way they feel and the way they pull, they are so much fun. It's just as challenging as catching a big bass in a big river system, such as the Coosa or the Alabama River. Anywhere you've got current, the bass, they play by the same rules. They set up on the same things, ledges, current breaks, things of that nature. And that's what I've got out here in front of me is little ledges that run all the way around. Another one starts. We had one that we fished behind us. And you can do this very inexpensively and have a blast. There we go. Now that one's a little bigger. And boy, he's look at that little rod bend. Ultralight is, oh no. Ultralight is so much fun, but these tiny little hooks and this tiny line, I cannot put the pressure on them like I would fishing conventional tackle. So I'm gonna lose some, and that's okay. It's all part of the experience. That was a lot bigger fish than my first one. But that was 2 bites out of the exact same spot. These fish congregate in these current breaks. And if you catch one, so many bass fishermen will catch one out of a spot. They leave. Never leave, especially when you've got current and you catch a fish. It's worth several more casts. They are there most of the time. So we're gonna fan cast all over this little ledge out here and bring it out over open, across the shelf, out onto open water in several different places, just to see if we can draw a strike. All right, guys, one more cast. We're moving again. I'm through that one out. It's a little more flat water. I don't believe it's as deep. The clouds have gotten over, I can't tell, but there may not be a shelf right there. So I twitched it a few times, made it look like something just dying on top of the water. Yeah, that was a little more shallow. Once again, I'm going to take and set up. I saw feeding fish out ahead of me. I could easily walk right over there, but I'll be too far out of camera range. So I'm going to move again. We're going to work around these weeds, and there's more ledges that run right up next to the big clump of grass and weeds on the bank. I'll see you when I get set up. I'm going to step out of the frame just a little so you can see what I'm throwing at. I've got some weeds out in front that are sitting on top of a little ledge. Let's see if there's anything around that. Might be a little shallow right there. That ledge might not be pronounced enough to really hold them, but just to the left of it, I can see a little bigger ledge. And deeper water. Several little old fish chasing. 3 bass and what looked like to be a big bluegill came after it. So I'm putting it back in, bringing it back on the other side of this rock. I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to have a slow, steady retrieve all the way back. They'll have to, oh, there he goes. He ran it down. The bluegill got there quicker than the bass. And buddy, he is tearing it up. Look at that. That is so pretty with the colors. Come on in here, buddy. Come on in here. There we go. Absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. Fishing on the river is hard to beat. Let's see if I can just grab him without getting a treble hook. Got him. That is a beautiful little, beautiful. There's little small spotted bass swimming right in front of me while I'm talking. Oh. Let's show everybody before you jump off. Check that out. Pretty, beautiful coloring on that fish. Very healthy. That'd be a great eater if I was eating fish today. But we're not. Back he goes. And we're going to try to track down those 3 or 4 little bass that I saw chasing him. They were chasing that fish, waiting on that meal he just ate to come out, or either an opportunity that they could get it. They were running the bluegill at the same time, putting it right back out there. I'm going to twitch it a couple times, see if they'll grab it off the top. And then I'm going to slow it, slow and steady back in. That little thing's got a real tight wobble. It's coming on in. It looks like it is really, really struggling. Coming up upstream, bass chasing. And they saw me before it got, they were almost ready to attack. I'm letting it drift back downstream. They're under the bait. Oh, they want it. They want to try it anyway. I'm letting it drift back down, twitch, drift and drift, twitch. It's like a cat playing with a mouse. Who's going to win? Are they gonna attack? It's almost like bedding fish, but they're in the current. Very slight current. I'm gonna feed some more line. I'm gonna let it go on down past them a little. They know it's there, they're watching it. Twitch. There's 3 bass under it. They remind me of little sharks. There he goes. Oh, no, he couldn't stand it. That was a fairly decent sized one. Putting it back. Same area, they're still there. We're gonna give them a minute to cool off and settle down. We're gonna put it back over here. Bring it on in across these little shelves. They chased it up here to me again. I'm gonna let them, I'm not gonna tease them with it like I did before. Putting it back out there. Oh, more fish out there. There's one. I don't know if it's a bluegill or a bass. It's pretty strong. I think it's a bluegill. I see flash of color. Yes, sir. Come on in here. The bluegills are chasing the... Oh, he came off. I fooled with him too long. The bluegills are actually chasing the bait down. The bass are hesitating, and the bluegills are taking their bait away from them. I've got some serious line twist. Sometimes you get that in the river. Well, I've missed several. Got one little one, 2 little ones. I've done forgot. But this water's so cool. I love it. It's 90-some degrees outside. And I'm not even hot. There's a bite. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's a brim. Oh, please stay on, baby. Oh, that's not a brim. That is, oh, 4-pound test. If he touches the rocks, I'm done. Oh, yes. Where are you going? That is not a huge fish, but it is extremely strong. Oh, it's like a little torpedo. What beautiful colors. Oh, he nearly swam to me. Come here. Come here, you don't knock my camera over. He don't want nothing to do with me. There we go. Get my rod up here in my little holder. Much, much nicer fish. That's what we talking about right there. That is a beautiful, beautiful Mulberry River spotted bass. And they do get bigger, and hopefully we will get a bigger. I think what happened is he saw these little fish eating these things coming through his territory, and he had enough of it. He decided it was his turn. And my little hooks, ow, boy, they actually worked out that time. Oh, easy. He's got, it down where I can't hardly reach it. He wanted that bait. Alright, now maybe it's turned and I can pull it straight out. Or not. Gotta get him back in quick. Oh, them little teeth are killing my thumb. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Now I gotta catch him all over again. I hope he didn't hook himself again. He's not hooked that bad, he's just hooked in a bad place that's hard to reach. There he goes. Get him revived. What a beautiful fish. We got no blood. We succeeded. We didn't get him. There he goes. Back down there to harass some more crawfish and minnows. That was a blast. I've got line twist. My little bait's been coming through the water, spinning in the current, I do believe. Alright, well now what I'm going to do, I need to let some line out in this current and untwist my line. This one got foul hooked a little while ago, and as it came through the current it just twisted and twisted and twisted. So I'm going to take my bait off, and this is a good little neat little trick you can do. Even the best put on spool of line can get twisted during a fishing trip. I'm taking this bait off. I'm going to untwist my line, I'm going to let it out down the river, I'm going to reel it back in, it will be back on correctly. I'm going to change baits and go to a crawfish color, Little Rebel, and I'll see you when I get done, and we'll see if that makes a difference in catching maybe a couple of little bigger fish, or maybe some like we just caught. I'll see you in a few. Well, guys, I made my way down to one of my deeper holes I wanted to fish, and I have a thunderstorm creeping up out of the south, so I may or may not get to finish today. I may get ran right back to the truck. Oh my goodness. Oh, one came back and got it after the first one missed. That is so cool, and they just run all over this little river. Another little spot. That's what we came to get after today. I'm gonna ease him back. Maybe he'll stay on. Oh my goodness. That is so cool. All right, in you go. Are you done yet? Come on. Let's see if we can't get that hook out of your face, or not in my hand. There we go. Yeah, more line twist. That's part of fishing in the river. If you ever foul your little bait, you will get some line twist. you'll let me have this little hook back, I'm going to put you right back in and let you go about your business. Just like that. Should have used my hands to start with. Another, not a giant, but so much fun because they hit like nobody's business. All right, buddy. Boom, back in the current, and away he went. And I hooked myself. Oh, man, what in the world did we get into? That looked like a flat with no cover. And that little old fish was sitting there, and I got another fish following him. Oh, what a little acrobat. Two fish following him. They want to take his food away. Oh, he's going to wet me. Can you throw it? If you throw it, I won't have to take you off. Oh, my goodness. And I believe that's going to signal the end of my trip. Got him. He's back up here. I believe that's going to be our last one. Unless this storm passes, I may end up at another little different place. Guys, if you get a chance to get out on the river, any river, fishing in the current, it's a lot of fun. And fish the ledges, fish the current breaks, anything that'll offer a fish somewhere to hide, somewhere to get out of the current, somewhere that makes a good ambush point for them to dart out and catch a minnow or a little brim or a crawfish. It's so much fun. You don't have to have heavy tackle. I've got a little ultralight, probably 5-foot rod, 4-pound test, and for those of you who have followed me on YouTube for several years, you know that I absolutely love this. It's so much fun. And I've caught 2- and 3-, 4-pound bass on this little rig. And as long as they don't snag or catch a rock, you can land them if you're careful.